Welcome back to another Pokemon What If Wednesday, where every Wednesday morning we go through last week's investing and collecting questions, where your guys' questions will actually be featured in the video, and one person's question will help me make the thumbnail every single week. So please drop your questions down below for a chance to be in next week's video, and if I did comment to you saying great question, I might use this and I didn't, please drop that same question again, maybe shorten it if it was a little long, and make sure you put repeat question and it will get moved to the top. And I'm not saying I'm some guru who just knows everything, but when I'm unsure, I always like to talk it out with a few people. Always helps me make my final decision. And we do have to give thanks to our video sponsor real quick, and that is ARIZONATCG. If you guys have a couple graded cards or a ton of graded cards you're looking to sell, could be PSA, Beckett, CGC, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, it does not matter. ARIZONATCG is perfect. All you do is send them all your graded cards and that's it. You don't have to deal with a bunch of people lowballing you or sending you offers every single day or not even paying for their auctions. They will handle everything, and you can change it to buy it now. You can track your whole collection. And they charge almost the same exact amount as if you started your own eBay store, but this eBay store already has 100% positive feedback with over 10,000 cards sold. So definitely check them out. All the links are in the description. And I also want to mention too, I'm going to this card show this Saturday in Shakopee, Minnesota. It's a TCG only card show, so no sports cards. Super pumped about that. They're going to have some voice actors there, and I will be there vending and recording, doing my first standalone vending video. So definitely come say what's up. And they do still have a few tables available if you guys do want to vend. They're only $80 a table. It's going to be a really, really good time. But all right, let's get started here. First question is from @N1Ka31. Hey Beard, I have the whole Baxcalibur IR line that I got for about $30 a month ago. Do you think I should sell them right now since they have gone ballistic and buy them back later, or do you think they can keep climbing? Thanks and love the vids. So let's start off by checking them out. So we got the Baxcalibur right here, market price $49 it said. It's a lightly played chart, switch that to near mint. So it looks like it did get up to $58. Now last sold 44, 50, 47, 45, 45, 47. So when trying to figure this out, I really like to look at everything. And if you look at Pokemon history, you know, when stuff goes super crazy to where the prices don't even feel real, a lot of times they come back down in price. And I've never seen so many buyouts before in Pokemon history. I have people messaging me every single day saying, someone just bought 100 of these cards. Someone just bought every card on eBay. Like every single day I'm getting messages like that. And it makes sense for the illustration rares because they were so cheap. I've been buying illustration rares the entire year between $1 to $5, you know, compared to the special illustration rares, because if you look at the top 10 cheapest special illustration rares compared to, you know, all the illustration rares were the same price or cheaper, you had so many more Pokemon to choose from for illustration rares and so much better art. So I really feel like illustration rares will come down in price. Like I said, not all of them, and it really depends on the Pokemon and the art. You know, I feel like Groudon definitely deserves that price. Magikarp, I feel like should be a little cheaper, but still, you know, Eevee is pretty crazy, but I have a feeling a lot of them, you know, are not true prices, and a lot of them will completely level out or come back down like half. I don't think they will come back down to where they were because they were super undervalued. I'm telling you, there were so many illustration rares that were $5 or cheaper. Yeah, if it were me, you know, I have a card show this weekend too, and I have a bunch of these illustration rares. I'm going to try to sell a couple of them here. I really feel like a lot of them aren't going to sell at some of these prices. You know, there's a ton of sales online, but I'm telling you, there's so many weird things happening right now online with some of these sales to where it's just weird. So I'm going to test it in person to see if they actually sell. So yeah, like I said, it really depends on the artist though, and the Pokemon. So really, really think about it. Like that Baxcalibur, that's a tough one for me because like I said, I've been obsessed with that art since it came out. It's just that I don't think, you know, Baxcalibur is the most popular Pokemon, but you know, I enjoyed them. So it's just tough to say. But if you look at Pokemon history, I really feel like now is a very, very solid time to sell some of these high value illustration rares that have just gone super crazy. Because then too, you could look at the most popular ones, you know, Persian and like Ghastly and stuff, and they've gone down in price. Persian got up to $78. Now last sold $55, $59, $55. Like that's a decent amount of money. That card has dropped 20 something dollars. Now again, this is just my opinion. I could be wrong. People can do whatever they want with this market. Someone could go buy every single Baxcalibur card and make it be a $70, $80 card. So that's why it's just so hard to really judge the market right now, because you can kind of do whatever you want. Next is from @JB Pokemon. Hi Beard, I have a sealed case of Surging Sparks booster boxes that I bought for $6.50. Seeing the price increase, is this a good time to sell and take profit, or should I hold it long term with the chance that the price will increase more? Thanks, Beard. So Surging Sparks is going up right now, so I'd definitely wait a little bit longer, keep watching it. I could see this box getting to $300 before we like get any, you know, reprint news. But I feel like once we hit reprint news, and I definitely feel like we will get a big reprint for Surging Sparks, I could see it coming down in price a little bit. So just keep watching it. You know, when stuff's going up like that, you just got to watch it like a hawk and wait for it to level out a little bit, and then you can sell. But two, you know, down the road, these could be $500 a booster box. So you got to keep that in mind. Next is from @ThomasCook. Hey, Beard, thanks for all that you do. I'm a big fan of Roaring Moon EX162 with Prismatic Evolution's artwork being mostly the Terra type. I think the Shinji Kanda artwork is a standout, akin to Giratina from Lost Origin and Magikarp from Pal Evolved. Thoughts on sleeper potential in this card? So it's actually going up in price right now. It was $177. Now last sold $250, $239, $225, $200, $199. Yeah, I really feel like any art done by this artist right now is going to go up in price. Like, it's just inevitable. And it is definitely one of the more unique cards in the entire set, and definitely one of my favorites for sure. Next is from @Jonathan Peak. Hey Beard, love the content. I have 2 sealed Pokemon Center ETBs of Prismatic. Do I crack both and grade the stamp promos and rip the packs, or just leave them sealed? So, in my opinion, I like to just keep them sealed. But last sold in a PSA 10 for Eevee, $750, $792. And the value of the raw is going up to where if you get a 9 and you got to sell it as a 9 or crack it, you're not losing a ton of money. I think last sold for those was like 130-ish, 140 the last time I checked a few days ago for raw. So, you know, it's totally up to you. It really depends on if you like to gamble or not. You could hit big. You could hit 2 PSA 10s and pull 2 special illustration rares. You never know. It's very possible. Next is from @DannyArnold9087. Should we pick up the Oricorio from Crown Zenith Galarian Gallery since it's the same artist as Drowsy from Scarlet and Violet base and hope for a jump in price? Yeah, I just bought some. I bought 9 of them for like $2 a card. Very cool. I had 3 of them before, but, you know, very unique art like that. And like I said, you know, when it's just a couple dollars, it's super safe in my opinion, because worst case scenario goes down $1 and then you have a full page of a very beautiful, unique card. Next is from @ArielGill1345. Would love to know which Reshiram and Zekrom cards you're picking up. So I've been grabbing a couple of these. These are the original, you know, full arts, Reshiram from Black and White and Zekrom from Black and White. You can find these cards for a decent deal. You know, last sold 40, 40, 36, 48, 44. And they did make reprints of these for celebrations, which I do have a few of these. And I might pick up a few more, especially if they come down anymore. But you cannot really beat that. And then, too, you got the tag teams, but the tag teams are pretty expensive right now. But I do have a feeling those will even go higher. I'm just not personally grabbing them because they're pretty expensive. Next is from @SKRXPT script, maybe. Do you think a Beckett Black Label Umbreon EX from Prismatic in 10 years will be worth 50 grand? That's super tough. Looks like on price charting, we have a Umbreon VMAX and a BGS 10 Black that sold for 11,000. I don't think it will reach 50 grand, no. Especially, I definitely feel like more people like the Umbreon VMAX art more than the new Umbreon EX from Prismatic. So I don't think it'll quite get there. Next is from Silverain Blastoise 6767. Hey PokeBeard, I've been collecting singles, playing the game since Diamond and Pearl era. Just now getting into the sealed side of the hobby. I was wondering if you could rate my sealed collection so far. It's 2 Blooming Waters, 1 Twilight Masquerade PC ETB, 1 PC Prismatic Evolution ETB. Any specific thing you think I should add into my collection? Keep up the great work. I love your videos. I think you are doing excellent so far. Just keep grabbing, you know, 151 if you ever see it. Grab any Prismatic if you see it in stores. And then keep trying to get every PC ETB that comes out. And then definitely try to get a few booster boxes here and there. You know, I'd probably just try to get the newer ones. Journey Together, first booster box with box toppers in a very long time. I think that'd be a really, really good one to add to your collection. Next is from @Trainers Archive. Hi Beard, do you think that the Sword and Shield era was the greatest, strongest era for Pokemon cards so far? Do you think it's a good idea to stay bullish on that era as those sets will likely increase the most? I definitely like a lot of the bigger cards in Sword and Shield than I do compared to the Scarlet and Violet era. I like the more realistic cards and stuff, so Sword and Shield did such a good job with that. And then they have sets like, you know, like Brilliant Stars and stuff that have trainer galleries to where you can get, you know, the non-textured trainer galleries, which have beautiful arts, and you can get the textured trainer gallery Vs, the textured trainer gallery VMAXs, and then you get those few super rare, hard to pull alternate arts. I really like that system. But it's tough to compete with illustration rares, with special illustration rares. You know, especially some of these sets have a ton of them. So when looking at just the whole set, I really feel like Scarlet and Violet era does beat a lot of the Sword and Shield era set-wise, but art-wise, I feel like Sword and Shield had a lot better ones for some of the bigger cards. Next is from @PoFrocker. Hey Beard, did you buy a bunch of the Drowsy illustration rares from Scarlet and Violet for about $1 back in the day? Yeah, I got a ton of them at like $2.50, $3. I just counted, I had 14 of them. Next is from @JustDanny1. Hey Beard, love your videos. I know this takes a lot of effort, so congrats on all of your hard work. You mentioned you would start doing events and card shows. Any shows you'll be at? Would love to visit your booth. So I'm just doing Minnesota ones right now. So if you guys are ever in Minnesota, I'm basically going to do every card show that is happening in Minnesota. But hopefully in the next year, I would love to go to all the Collecticons and stuff. So hopefully the vending really takes off. So that way I can travel all over and meet everybody. Next is from @BTSU1YF. Hey Beard, I've just been chomping at the bit to ask this one. Where do you get your ideas from? So the way I look at like my YouTube channel is kind of like an invention. So I really try to find stuff that, you know, other people are not doing on YouTube or like a need people have. So when I started my weekly market updates, which, you know, a ton of people now do, the reason why I started them was the only people who really covered the market was Danny Phantom in like top 10 Pokemon, and Dandy covered it very randomly in top 10, just did like the top 10 auctions or whatever. So nobody was covering the market as much as I was at home, which is why I started the weekly market updates. And then I also noticed everybody just posted so randomly and every video was just random, and nobody really had a channel to where it was like a guaranteed scheduled video every single, you know, day or whatever it is. And, you know, kind of like a TV show, you know, or like the news, you got the news every day. So I wanted to do something like that. So I really just try to find stuff that other people aren't doing, or, you know, if they have done it, to just try to do it way better. But I take this stuff very, very seriously. I study a ton of channels. You know, I've read books on hand movement for when talking. I've read books on, you know, breathing while talking. Like I really, really take this stuff very, very seriously. And I'm always doing research, writing down in my notes, ideas. So I just always try to keep the channel as fresh as possible. But all right, next question is from @ChanFree. What would be your Pokemon team to become the Pokemon champion? All gens can be in your party. So I always pick just my favorite Pokemon. So Dragonair, Suicune, I do Donphan, Flygon. I throw Chen Pao in there for a newer Pokemon, and then Aurorus. So I think that team is just super, super cool looking. Next is from the Pokemon Hub 223. Hey Beard, with the recent Pokemon prototype and Illustrator scams, I have some rising concerns. In the next year or so, I'm scared that AI is going to be able to create perfect copies of raw cards with the help of quantum computing. And taking it a step further, imagine they can create fake PSA slabs and use old cert numbers, and then no one can tell what's real or fake cards. And worst of all is if they could make vintage packs / boxes, this would absolutely kill the Pokemon card industry. What are your thoughts on this? Thank you. So every time we get, you know, new technology that can fake stuff, we usually get newer stuff that can tell that it's fake. So I'm not super, super worried. And if it does happen and go super crazy, people will just have to get from the Pokemon Center and like really think about where they get their stuff from and can't just buy it from anywhere. But hopefully that does not happen. Next is from @CaptainKid. Why do you think PSA 9s are worth the same as the raw version? Don't you think they should be worth in between raw and PSA 10? Also, I love your channel. Keep it up. So the only reason is just because when you're buying a raw card, it still has a chance at a 10. So, you know, when you're buying modern cards, you would think a card should basically be at least a 9. So that's why people just, you know, pay the same price for a raw and a 9. You know, some people even pay more for that raw just because it has a good chance at a 10. Next is from @Midlife Crisis Casino to Beard. Hello from Minnesota. My wife pulled the gold Pikachu EX from a prismatic mini tin. She's a beaut. The card and my wife laugh out loud. I really want to submit it for grading, which would be my first card ever. I really like the clean look of Tag's case, but according to Tag, a PSA 10 and Tag 10 differ by at least 200. 2 questions. Which do you think is a better company to go with, especially looking long term? Could Tag come out ahead in the future and be worth more? And since Tag, I think, is newer, what would happen if they can't get market share and close? So if you're thinking long term, it's not the biggest deal because everybody can pretty much agree Tag has pretty solid quality, obviously. So let's say you buy a Tag and, you know, Tag doesn't take off. People will still want that card just because they know it's a really, really clean card in there. So it's not the end of the world. If you like Tag better, you can definitely do Tag. Just know if you buy a Tag slab when you're trying to sell it, you know, especially right now, it's going to take a lot longer. You know, that's the biggest difference for sure. But all right, next is from @MasonTrental4324. When collecting, it's not all about value. What's your favorite card that you have that is not worth much or not worth anything at all? Thanks. That is my base set unlimited Dragonair card that I've had as a kid. It is in terrible condition, but I absolutely love it. I brought it with me everywhere. It was always in my pocket. Next is from @DearSikaria. Hey PokeBeard, I'm from India. We don't have Pokemon officially in India. We need to import stuff from US and Japan at high customs and shipping fees. And as the market price increases, this is killing the hobby here in India. What do you think can be done to solve the problem? How can a trusted distributor be found with me here sitting in India? Yeah, it's so tough. I really feel like they should just start putting Pokemon centers everywhere so everybody can just order from the Pokemon Center. I genuinely feel like that's the only thing that they can really, really do. But it is just going to be so tough. You know, I'm surprising too. India, there's so many people to where, you know, that's a lot of money that they are missing out on. So hopefully something like that can happen, but you never know. Next is from @Unplexus. Hey Beard, love the content. Been struggling with finding solid grading plays these days between the new PSA 10 guidelines and new people in the hobby. It feels harder than ever to find clean copies of cards at shows online to send in for grading. Do you think this is temporary due to the bull market? Or do you see finding raw copies of cards to grade as less feasible way to make money in the hobby going forward? Any tips, advice on finding success in this market? No, I've actually noticed that too. It's definitely getting a little tougher to find cleaner copies. It's just so many more people know to grade their clean copies. So yeah, it's just going to be tough. The only thing you can really do is just keep buying big random lots, checking your card shops. You know, a lot of card shops don't grade. They get too many cards in, takes too long to where they do not grade at all. So definitely check your card shops. All right, next, it's Morphin Time 93. Should I sell an Evolving Skies case and Raw Moonbryon for a couple cases of Destined Rivals cases? No. You got to think it's a brand new set. They're going to reprint it multiple times. You're going to have plenty of opportunities to pick up some of these Destined Rivals cases. Do not sell your Evolving Skies. It's gold. Next is from @Kiri Collect. I've been stocking up on some sleeve boosters. They're just stacked on a shelf. I don't think I can afford the lovely hook display you have in the background of your videos. Do you have some recommendations? So this was only $60 on eBay. They're actually very affordable. I'd say most of them range from like 60 to 100. So definitely check. I promise you will absolutely love it. It'll make you want to collect even more sleeve boosters. So that's what I would definitely try to do. Otherwise, you know, for display, there's really nothing super good. I mean, you can buy some like cheap hooks on Amazon and stuff and display them. So you might be able to do that. Otherwise, if you're storing them, I used to just wrap them up in bubble wrap, you know, like 5-10 at a time or whatever, and stack them in there. Next is from @DNA4422. Hey PokeBeard, what are your thoughts on storing your cards in a top loader binder versus a card sleeve binder? Thanks for all you do, Benjo. So the big difference between a top loader binder and a non-top loader binder is top loader binders are very big and heavy. So if you're one of those people that likes to bring your binder everywhere to card shows and stuff like that, it will get very annoying, and I promise you that. And last on the list is @JPBoathead884. How do you stay motivated to get product in this hobby? So yeah, it's tough right now, but just remember, you know, you don't always have to be buying stuff. So right now, I'm basically just waiting for pre-orders on new sets, and then I'm buying a bunch of cards. So that's why I can always find something to buy in this hobby. You know, let's say cards go crazy and boxes are all crazy. I'll just start collecting vintage sealed Pokemon toys again. You know, I have a ton of those. I'd like to get every single sealed vintage Pokemon toy ever created. You know, I can always get cleaner versions of like the games and stuff too. So there's always things I can collect. So I'm never super worried. But for like investing in a sealed, all I'm really doing right now is just trying to get pre-orders locked in for all these newer sets. And then that's all I'm buying, just saving a bunch of money. So it's honestly good to do that sometimes when the market is super crazy. But all right, that was today's Pokemon What If Wednesday. If you guys do like this content, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. And then if you guys want to support more, you can check out my Instagram or my YouTube membership. And then too, if you guys want to watch my last Pokemon Market Monday, which was a crazy one, I had 75 pages open, click this video here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.